Hello everyone, a very pleasant day to you. Vice President Shettima hails Massachusetts Tech Institute's impact on global innovation ecosystem. Federal government moves to ensure steady power supply to health facilities nationwide. And TUC backs Jehosu, threatens nationwide strike over salary stoppage. A very good day to you and welcome to First Nest News Port Harcourt. I am Becky Usoro. Now the news in full. Vice President Kashim Shettima has lauded the transformative impacts of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology (MIT) on the global entrepreneurship and innovation ecosystem that has raised over $1.5 billion and created over 30,000 direct jobs in 20 years. He, however, urged African entrepreneurs to close ranks in order to fully harness the continent's huge potentials, leveraging MIT's resource mobilization network and job creation opportunities. Vice President made the remark while playing host to a delegation from Kuyo Sharper Foundry Fellowship 2025 to 2026 led by MIT's Executive Director for the Kuyo Sharper Center for Prosperity and Entrepreneurship, Dina Sherif, at the State House, Abuja. Vice President Shettima called for unity of purpose among African professionals and entrepreneurs, saying Africa is a new frontier and future belongs to the continent, but its people must unite to transform potentials into tangible results that impact lives and livelihoods. He disclosed that President Bola Tinubu is daring to leverage available opportunities in Nigeria to transform the entire economy, noting that President Tinubu is not afraid of taking bold decisions that will reposition Nigeria's economy and better the lives of the livelihoods of the people. In another development, the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, retired, has reiterated the federal government's commitment to safeguarding schools and ensuring a secure learning environment across the country. Musa gave the assurance in Abuja while receiving the Distinguished Service in National Peace and Security Merit Award from the National Parent Teachers Association of Nigeria, NAPTEN. The minister emphasized that security remains central to educational development, stressing that a safe environment was crucial for effective teaching and learning. Musa praised parents and teachers for their role in shaping responsible citizens, noting that discipline and quality education were vital to national stability. The minister described parents and teachers as the twin pillars of a child's development, stressing that their collaboration was essential to building Nigerians' future leadership. Moving on, the federal government has inaugurated a 24-member Interagency Technical Committee, IATC, to drive the implementation of the Nigerian Power for Health Initiative, NPHI, an initiative aimed at ensuring reliable and sustainable electricity supply across health facilities nationwide. A statement by the Director, Information and Public Relations, Alaba Balogun, says the objective of the new drive is to achieve at least 30% renewable-powered healthcare delivery by the end of 2027. The statement quoted the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Adekunle Saloko, as describing the initiative as a critical pillar of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Health and Human Capital Development Agenda. Speaking during the inauguration of the committee in Abuja, Salako said the IATC would provide the technical backbone required to translate political commitment into measurable outcomes in the health sector. Under its terms of reference, the Minister of State will lead technical activities for the sustainable electrification of health facilities, develop a national action plan, review project proposals, engage stakeholders, conduct technical analyses, and report quarterly to the Inter-Ministerial Steering Committee. Moving on, the federal government has warned prospective investors in the 2025 oil licensing round that any errors, miscalculations, or disappointments arising from the bidding process will be borne entirely by the companies involved, stressing that there will be no refunds of signature bonuses or exchanges of all assets under any circumstances. Minister of State of Petroleum Resources and Oil, Heineken Lokobori, gave the warning at the 2025 Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission pre-bid conference held in Lagos. The conference, which attracted a large turnout both physically and online, was aimed at educating prospective bidders on available assets, the legal framework, and the risk involved in the licensing process. He said the era when oil licensing were acquired for speculation, prestige, or resale was over, adding that licenses are government assets that must be actively developed. Moving on, the Trade Union Congress TUC has backed the industrial action embarked upon by the Joint Health Sector Union, JOHESU. JOHESU, an affiliate of TUC, directed its members to continue their ongoing industrial action that started on November 15, 2025, despite a federal government's directive enforcing the no work, no pay policy. The decision followed an emergency virtual meeting of the union's national leadership held on Monday, January 12, after the expiration of a 72-hour extension of the strike. Reacting, the TUC knocked the federal government for allegedly trying to intimidate the protesting health workers without considering the economic realities. Moving on, the National Judicial Council (NJC) has recommended the elevation and appointment of the presiding justice of the Court of Appeal, Enugu Division, Justice Olubemi Oyewole, for appointment as a Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. NJC's Deputy Director of Information, Kemi Babalola Ogendebe, disclosed this in a statement. Babalola said the Council and its 103rd meeting presided over by the Chief Justice of Nigeria and Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun recommended Justice Oyewole for appointment as a Justice of Supreme Court of Nigeria alongside 35 others candidates of various judicial offices across the country. Justice Owele, born on May 13, 1965, is from Ila, Oragun, Osun State, and takes the southwest slot made vacant as a result of the retirement of the immediate past Chief of Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola. Apart from Justice Oyewole, 27 others were approved for appointments as judges of various high courts. The breakdown shows that Borno and Plateau states will get 6 new judges, Ekiti will get 5 new judges, while Niger and Delta will get 4 each. Benue and Taraba will each get 1 judge. The council also recommended 6 cadis for appointment to the Sharia Courts of Appeal in Niger, 3 for Taraba, and 2 judges for appointment to the Customary Courts of Appeal, Delta State. Moving on, the Director General of Chief Executive Office of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, Professor Charles Anosike, has inspected and inaugurated the agency's Meteorological Data Rescue Project, a major step towards preserving Nigerians' climate heritage and strengthening its scientific capacity. The project is designed to secure invaluable historical weather and climate records, some dating back to the 19th century, which are previously at risk of permanent loss. Speaking during the event at NIMET headquarters in Abuja, Anosike says the projects are handwritten observation logs, ship logs, and early instrumental records that extend Nigerians' climate. The NIMET DG asserted that by systematically recovering, preserving and digitizing fragile paper records and old media, the Data Rescue Project safeguards Nigerians' analog climate history and ensures its long-term accessibility. He added the rescue data will support improved climate modeling, enhanced forecasting, disaster risk reduction, and more informed policy making, while providing essential historical context for understanding present and future weather patterns. He further described the initiative as a strategic investment in Nigerians' future, stating the project goes beyond achieving transforming historical data into a scientific foundation for climate resilience, sustainable development planning, and advanced methodological services. The minister also recounted how some bidders complained that the assets awarded to them did not meet their expectation and demanded alternative aggregates. Away from that story, a strategic partnership has been entered into by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and the Nigerian Police Force (NPF) to check your activities, safeguard investors and the nation's capital markets. The tie will lead to the establishment of the SEC-NPF task force to act as a rapid response unit against emerging fraud in the country. SEC's Director General Emomotimi Agama made this known after a high-level meeting with Inspector General Police IGP Kayode Ebetokun in Abuja. Agama, who said the meeting was specifically convened to address the rising tide of sophisticated investment scams in the country, pointed that bad actors often hide their fraudulent activities behind complex financial jargon. The Director General describes SEC as a sentinel at the gate of the formal market, but noted that regulatory oversight alone is insufficient to stop criminals who operate outside legal boundaries. He indicated that a gap exists between identifying these scammers and bringing them to justice, a space that the new partnership aims to eliminate. We now move on to sports. Morocco advanced to the final of the 2025 African Cup of Nations AFCON after defeating Nigeria 4-0 on penalties in a tense semi-final showdown on home soil. The tightly contested match ended goalless after regulation time, with both teams cancelling each other out in a fiercely fought encounter. Nigeria pushed forward in search of a winner, but Morocco held firm, buoyed by passionate support from their fans inside the stadium. With no breakthrough in open play, the contest was decided in a penalty shootout. The hosts kept their nerve to convert for spot kicks, while Nigerian faltered with 2 misses, handing Morocco a decisive victory and a place in the tournament final. The win sets up a mouth-watering final clash between Morocco and Senegal, who earlier booked their ticket by overcoming Egypt in the other semi-final. Nigeria will now turn their attention to the third-place playoff, where they face Egypt as both sides aim to end their campaigns on a positive note. That's all on the news this hour. I am Becky Osoro from and the entire team in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.